Welcome to Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life. And today, everybody, it's a really special session because not only we will have the pleasure to see Sandra Winter, that you already know is an amazing soul, is an amazing sound healing expert or practitioner. She's also the expert in angel readings, and she is the Interfaith Minister. And we had two previous episodes with her, one on her story, and the other one she was doing angel reading on me. I was the guinea pig, the lucky one. And today we have a surprise guest on the show. And this is the person, this lovely, beautiful soul that you see on the screen. Her name is Tia Oliver. Tia and Sandra, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So I will basically, what we will do, what is going to happen, Sandra is going to lead us with the sound healing session. And this is the first time on the show when someone is coming with this gift. And I'm super excited about that. So session is going to be geared toward Tia. So Tia is the one who is getting the healing. However, I also want to tell you that everybody who is watching and listening, whether in replay or right now in real time, you guys, since you are in the same field, in Sandra's field and Tia's and mine, you are going to get your own healing. And Sandra, I'll just, with this, I'll pass the mic to you and you can tell a little bit more about what people who are watching are going to get out of this session today.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So I just want to tell everyone, first of all, thank you for tuning in. And like Zhanna said, just because the session is focused on my friend Tia, you will also receive benefits. And the reason why this is so is because when you set your intention to receive, when you are in a receptive mode, and you are, even if you're just an observer, you will still be able to hear the vibrations. You will still get the healing intentions that are being sent out, even though they're directed toward one particular person in particular. You will still be able to get the benefits. So I'll just explain a little bit about what you're going to see happening here. I have worked with Tia before, but I'm going to start with a little prayer. I always like to start sessions that way, just to make sure that both I and the person I'm working with are grounded. And then I will usually ask, so I'll ask Tia, if there was anything in particular she wants to work on today. And then I will usually also do a scan. Let me show you my little friend here. This is what they call a Himalayan bowl. And I use this bowl specifically, although not exclusively. I use this bowl to sort of like scan. I will use it to scan Tia's chakra system, and that will give me information about any areas that might be sort of not really blocked, but sort of knotted, or areas where she might need a little extra energy like that. And then whatever happens, I'm just guided to send sound, maybe with my voice or with the different instruments I have. That's where we kind of go off the playbook, if you will, and just the session is totally guided by whatever is needed in the moment. So anyway, that's just a sort of an outline of how things will go. And with that, I'm just going to say hi, Tia.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi there. So first, let's just make sure that we get started with a little word of prayer, and then we'll ask what's going on with you and what you'd like to have happen. Okay?
That sounds great.
Okay. So, dear Father, Mother God, thank you so much for this time together. Thank you for all the people who are watching. And I just ask that you help me, Sandra, to get out of the way so that I can be a channel of healing for Tia and all those who may be watching. I know that sound carries long after our ears hear it. It goes forth into the cosmos. And I know that whoever watches this, whether it's today or 6 months from near now or 6 years from now, may they experience a blessing and a healing. And may whatever healing energies go forth today be for Tia's highest good and for the highest good of all the listeners and all those who may hear this at any point. So with that, we just invite in our angels and guides and ask that whatever happens in this session just be for the highest good, and that you will help to bring that forth. And so it is.
And so it is.
Okay, my friends. So what's your healing intention today? What would you like to work on?
Well, I've just completed a fast-paced 90-day project, or I will by Sunday. And what's in my space today is having my cells exhale from the intensity of what's been present, as well as to re-energize themselves for what's next for me.
Oh, awesome. I love that. Very, very clearly stated. Thank you so much for that. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to do a little scan and kind of see where you're at now, so I have a baseline and we know where to work. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to invite you to relax and just kind of make sure that both your feet are on the floor, and that if you want, you can close your eyes. You don't have to. But if it helps you to stay centered and grounded, then by all means. So first, what we're going to do is do a little grounding exercise before I start sending sound your way. So I just invite you to imagine that there's a ray of golden light coming down, down, down from beyond this dimension, from way above the earth, coming down through your crown chakra, lighting up your crown, lighting up your third eye, lighting up your throat, and settling in your heart. And I also want you to imagine that your feet have roots that are growing. Imagine that there are roots growing from the soles of your feet, going down through the floor of your space where you are. If you're in an apartment building, going down through all of the layers of the foundation and down below the earth's crust, and reaching toward the center of the earth. And imagine that your roots are bringing up to you this wonderful loving energy of Mother Earth, and that this loving energy is going up through the roots and coming back up through your feet, your ankles, your legs, your torso, and reaching your heart. And imagine that these two energies, which are really one, they're just coming from different places, are blending in your heart. And they're shooting out from your heart in this beautiful, loving energy and creating a protective bubble around you, so that only that which is for your highest good and greatest joy may come in, and only that which is of your highest good goes out. And so, with that, let's begin. So, Tia, if you would just take a nice deep breath in and slowly let it out. Got another nice deep breath in. And slowly letting it out. And before we bring you back, there's one thing that Archangel Raphael has wanted me to tell you. And that is that as you fully commit to being all of who you are in the world, that the energy that is required, all the energy that is required is available to you at all times. So, as we are humans, you and I, we require rest. But Raphael specifically wanted me to tell you that the energy for the divine work that you are being called to do is what will carry you through. Does this make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
And so all of the things that you are being asked to do come with their own sort of life support system. And that as you commit to doing your work and also commit to self-care, and sound healing sessions are a great way of self-care, as you know. But as you commit to the self-care and to doing the work, you're definitely going to be provided for. So he wanted me to be sure and let you know that.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. So I just want to slowly then bring you back into the space. Just wiggle your toes a little bit. Shrug your shoulders. And wiggle your hands, your fingers. Feel yourself in your chair. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So, oh, my pleasure. How does that feel?
I am a perfect. As you were utilizing the bowls, the sound that came through had binaural beat sounds attached to it. So that was a bonus today, doing it via this methodology. And when Raphael spoke about having all the energy that I need when I was experiencing the sounds, what came for me was a heart opening. And in that heart opening, I've been working with a transformational group of 21 individuals and 8 staff members. And my heart opened to include all of them and their energy in what you were doing, as though they too were lifting me up as well as I lifting them up. So it was absolutely perfect.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Yes.
And I realized I hadn't really introduced you the way I wanted to. I just want to let everybody know who's watching. I mean, Tia is an amazing, amazing life coach. She does transformational work with individuals and with groups. And, hopefully she's going to be doing an interview with Zhanna really soon, and she'll be able to tell you all more about the work that she does. But it's my honor to do this work with you. So thank you, Tia.
Thank you.
That's really amazing.
It's perfect.
I'm curious. So it's not the first session that you like, Tia. Have you experienced Sandra's sound healing session before? Was Sandra's work?
I've experienced both her sound healing sessions and the I am sessions, and we've also done a combination of the two together, and it's been amazing. When I first began working with her, I was the bowls spoke to my being all over the place, and which was true. I could feel that like kinetic energy, and after my very first session with her, I experienced myself very much grounded. What that looked like was I locked my keys out of my house, and that normal flight or fight feeling wasn't there. The thing that was there was, okay, lock the keys out, now what?
So like Zen energy, right? Like
Absolutely. Perfectly put. Zen energy. Yes.
Zen energy. Yes. That's awesome. I want to say, if you don't mind, like I was not like, it was directed to you, but I'll be honest, and I want to check, like if everybody who is watching and listening, you guys can comment what you felt. I felt, first of all, I made my own intention when she was working on you. And exactly what you're describing, the sound of the bowls, right? It just, I don't know, we don't know how that works. We know it's vibration, and it's not, it's also the temper and the key. Well, as musicians, whoever is a musician, you guys will understand, but you don't have to be the musician to understand the mechanics of that. I still don't, we still cannot put the finger on it. That's how it works exactly. But you end up being in a completely blissful place all of a sudden in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So my question, Sandra, very practical. Just curious. It depends the order in which you use the instruments and what kind of instrument you use. Do they different from person to person? And when you scan them, as you call it, with this bowl, can you explain a little bit?
Yes. What happens when I scan, I mean, of course, in this case, Tia wasn't even directly in front of me, right? But what I do in this case is I imagine that she's in front of me. And it's amazing how when I scan, I get the same results. It's almost like I create a holograph of Tia in front of me. Okay. Wow. And in terms of how the scanning works is that I will go from like the crown chakra to the root chakra, although I actually, scan the whole body from the top of the head to the feet. And then because, I've had this bowl for a very long time and I'm very familiar with the sounds, I will hear subtle differences in the sound when I'm scanning someone. The energy that their chakras put out, it will create a slightly different sound on the bowl. It's like, imagine that I don't know how to describe it. If you are playing any other like percussive sort of instrument and you hold it when you're trying to create a sound with it, it will dampen the sound, right? So the same principle, when you strike the bowl and it meets a certain kind of energy, it will affect the sound. So that tells me that like when someone's chakra system is really clear, the bowl will sound very clear. When someone is maybe in pain or something's going on energetically, the sound will be different. It will sound slightly like dull. So, excuse me, that's how it works. And the funny thing is that usually what I do is I scan the person and then start asking them a few clarifying questions, especially if I've met them for the first time. And they will always confirm what the bowl has said. you know so anyway, that's how it works. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And the instruments that you use after the bowl, after the scanning part, it's intuitive, or is it always the same order of the instruments and the sounds that you're making, or it varies, depends on what you heard in the scanning process?
It varies according to what I heard.
Got
And today I mean, I have a lot more instruments than I put out today, but I always listen according to what the scan was. That's how I choose what I'm going to use.
Got it. What I have another little question before we unfortunately we'll have to wrap up. Time flies so fast. Although when you were doing this, Tia, I don't know if you had this, like there was no time when you were doing it, and I was speaking out, like you kept your eyes closed, and I was interested in what Sandra is doing and how she's doing it. So I was speaking out, but still there's no like divine timing, no concept of time. Anyway, so that was just interesting sensation in the body. What's, as far as how long does the effect last after the sound healing session? Maybe it's a question to Tia. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think Tia's the person to ask, because I think it varies according to the person. But Tia, you want to take that?
Oh, absolutely. From my first session and the grounding, we did that almost a month and a half ago. That's still present for me. And also with the angel healing, what comes up from the archangels shows up to me. It's like I'm hearing a voice that speaks into something that we have spoken to during one of the sessions. So I will remember something that comes up. So it's long lasting.
Wow.
That has been my experience to date. Yes.
That is amazing. I mean, truly amazing. And Sandra, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that work. Tia, thank you so much for being on the receiving end and being willing to be vulnerable in a way, because we know that, the whole world is looking and experiencing that. But also, while doing this work on ourselves, I want to remind everybody that we are actually healing not only us, but also the loved ones in the world, the Mother Earth, as you called it, as a whole. So if you guys are interested, if you would like to experience this sound healing session or the angel reading session with Sandra, you already know how to find her. It's through the website. That's the easiest way. It's sandrawintermusic.com. You can contact her through there. Also, there's going to be a link underneath this video on Facebook to the gift that Sandra created specifically for all of our all of you who are watching the program. It's the link is going to be below the video. That's for the 15-minute angel session, right? With you, the miniature angel session. However, you can use the same link if you are interested, let's say, in sound healing session. You just make a note for Sandra and you'll take it from there. It's really really a blessing to have you on the show. If you guys think that you have people in life who would benefit from getting the healing this way, share this video, whether that's on Facebook, it's going to be on YouTube too. If you go to Zhanna Shpits and you go Dream Big with Zhanna and put Sandra Winter, you'll go right into the all three interviews with Sandra. So you can pick and choose. And with that said, I want to say thank you so much for watching Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life. And absolutely, it's been my blessing. I've learned something. I've experienced, not so much that I learned, I've experienced something new today with the help of this beautiful women on the show. Sandra Winter, thank you so much. And Tia Oliver, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you. Until next time.